stop history repeating itself. Don't FOMO, but most of all, don't do this. A little bit of history today so that we don't make the same mistakes. In today's day and age, for those of you who may not have lived the pandemic of Pokemon, for those of you who did and may have made mistakes, let's not repeat them, shall we? Let's go fire. And the reality is, if you did make the mistake and, maybe you did learn from it and forgot about it, or maybe you didn't learn from it and are FOMOing now and maybe you need a little refresher. Let's get into it. We're talking Shining Fates and Surging Sparks today, and you might wonder, what the heck do those two things have in common, Steph? They don't have anything in common, Steph. One was a special set. This is not a special set. Well, they actually have quite a bit in common. They are both very, very highly anticipated sets. They were both very hyped sets, and they are both going wild children. Quite frankly, they have two very special cards in common. Let's go water. And that is a very special Charizard. This Charizard went berserk during COVID. This would have been February 19th, 2021, right in the middle of major lockdowns across most of North America. And for those of you who may not remember the very important stats of this, Skeleturge. It was just after the release of this set, not quite as quick as this set, but it would have been early March of 2021. Let's go fire. That this Charizard went buzzonk and it went $376. Crazy. Now, some of you might be like, well, that's not crazy nowadays. Well, okay, we're talking before, Pokemon went real nuts and started selling cards at, raw $1,200. Let's remember, there was a time that was the case. It no longer exists. Things like the Moonbreon didn't exist yet, but things were nuts. The entire set wasn't even worth that much yet. The whole set, I think, was worth $250 at this point, so the one card was worth more than most of the set at this point. And things were kind of going a little crazy, and people...
Was there nothing in that 3-pack?
There was nothing in that 3-pack.
Rough.
I was just trying to get past that,
well,
but hey,
no, not gonna let that slide.
Yeah, my 3-packs. Charizard was getting insane, and all of a sudden Charizard was becoming the monstrosity of this set. Everyone was trying to pull this Charizard, and Shining Fates blew up overnight in March. Everyone wanted to get their hands on Shining Fates. ETBs were like $20 over MSRP all of a sudden. Let's go water. And of course, because it was a special set, there were no booster boxes. And so ETBs were literally flying off the shelf. Scalpers were getting to be like 120 within days. It was insane. This is when we had just come back into the Poke world, and we're like, that's it. We're just not going to collect Shining Fates. Like, we're done. Like, we're just gonna go to the next one, and it's fine. We're just not gonna collect Shining Fates. And I remember going to our local Walmart and finding Shining Fates for what did we pay? I think we paid $75 for an ETB.
Maybe 70. It wasn't. Yeah, it was MSRP.
It wasn't MSRP, but
it's Walmart. So.
But it wasn't $100 for an ETB. And we were pumped. We were crazy pumped. And to this day, I still regret buying that ETB because I'm that was insane. That was utterly insane to pay that much for an Elite Trainer box. Let's go fighting, because these cards are just fighting me. And so this was the madness that this Charizard had created. And we're living that right now. Pikachu from this set, pre-order, was $421, which is absolutely insane. But a pre-order card they're pretty much all insane. Pre-order cards are usually people who are getting early access to the set, are cracking it, and are giving a rough estimate of what they think the value of a card is. And then people actually get access to the set and prices tank. They just tank. And some people who have money or need access to cards or whatever overpay for cards because of people who have pre-access to the set. People who are like, oh no, I know this set is going to do well or whatever, and they'll buy these cards early access.
Still not a single hit.
Shush.
Not even a double rare.
We don't do well with booster boxes.
Bundles,
sorry. Booster bundles very well, so I don't know how this is going to go. Either way, let's go water. Come on, I'm not doing very well with energy calls either. And then look at what happens. Pikachu ends up becoming, as of right this second, as we are recording, I have no idea what it's going to be when we release this, which is not very long after I record this, to be very clear. But it currently is sitting at $722. How is this card worth this much? Well, here's the reality. Don't FOMO, because it's not. It is not. This is the Charizard effect. This is the Pikachu effect. This is the fact that, yes, it is not the easiest card to pull, and yet somehow there are so many out there. It is not impossible to pull either. Please don't FOMO. Please don't pay this insane price. Please. The reality is Surging Spark is going to get another release, just like Shining Fates did. It got multiple. It got re-released, 3 times, I think it was?
It officially got reprinted too, and then everyone was upset because all the card values tanked.
Let's go water. The scalpers and the investors and the this and the that and the who's its and what's its, the ones that paid a absurd amount of money for those Charizards. Well, guess what? By October, so from March to October, it progressively, look at the charts, beautiful charts, progressively went down and down and down. By October, this beautiful Charizard, which don't get me wrong, for you Charizard fans,
nice.
For you Charizard fans, by October, this card was worth $119. It had gone down so much that it had 2x under its value. It had lost
half its value?
Half of its value.
In 6 months?
In less than 6 months.
That's wild.
This is a beautiful card. Let's take a look at it underneath the microscope. This card gives me such K-pop vibes, and that flare skirt is so fun. The starry background is adorable.
So far, these booster bundles came out to play. Just saying.
Shh. And so, here's the reality. In 6 months from now, will we be telling the exact same tale of the Pikachu, losing half of its value? Yeah, there's a pretty good chance. Quite frankly, I'd almost be ready to put money on it. Let's go fighting.
Ooh, there you go.
Hey, fighting words, eh? Fighting words? Yeah, they're fighting words. Because the reality is, whoever is paying these absurd amount of money for these Pikachus, are there going to be fighting words in the comment?
They're going to get burned.
Bell. Yeah, they're not going to be happy with this. But it's just the reality. Booster boxes are already selling over MSRP. ETBs are already selling, or starting to, but they're selling over MSRP. You cannot tell me that Pokemon isn't seeing this and losing their minds and not going to reprint. It's just a fact. Let's go water. Now
didn't help they cut everyone's allocation too.
Yep.
So it's not there's a huge supply problem on top of the insane demand. So
now there is one thing that everyone hasn't, I haven't heard many people talk about. There aren't a lot of playable cards in this set, which is one thing that not a lot of people have been talking about, and that is going to affect how much reprint we're going to see of this set. But
and a gold? What is happening? Was that in the same booster bundle?
Same booster bundle again.
Holy smokes.
Apparently these booster bundles have come to play. Holy molars. However, you cannot tell me that there's not going to be at least some reallocation. And I think there's going to be a reprint of some sort. Shining Fates was a special set. And don't get me wrong, it was the pandemic, things were weird, and Pokemon had to do something. But I cannot see that being the case for this set too. This is a regular set. They often do reprints of regular sets. They often will put these back on and will often reallocate. That it's an official reprint or they just do a restock of it, either way, there's going to be more of this product. There's going to be lots of this product. This product is not, it's not the last we're going to see of it. Holy molars. I have too much to get in to this video.
I know, I got to keep you on track.
Whew, whew. Counter gain, let's see it under the microscope. And we hit gold. The green, I didn't expect the green on this card. They are changing their gold game, and I'm all for it. Last one from this first booster box, and here's
booster bundle. I don't know why you always get that one
I
wrong.
do this every time. Here's the other thing that correlates to this story, and the reality is water. No. Is the fact that all the other singles in this set, with the exception of the Pikachus and I think one or two other cards, all of the other singles are tanking. All the other ones that do whoop and they're doing whoop, all the other ones are losing their value as the mass amount of singles are being opened, as everybody else is cracking this set in mass, in utter mass. Oh, Kilowattrel EX. Oh, I'm sorry, Kilowattrel. You're just a double rare. We're just gonna put you to the side. We have more things to talk about. They're all tanking because, again, pre-release, all the singles go up. We saw a bit of a spike, which no one anticipated, as people were just losing their minds over the set. And a week later, things started tanking again. Let's go fire. And this is the reality. Gang, this Pikachu's, all these Pikachus, all 3 or 4 of them. Is there 4? There's 3 for sure.
I think so. I think there's a couple, but...
There's 3 for sure. I think there might be a 4th one. Don't quote me on that. There's 3 for sure. They're going to lose their steam. That is my prediction, just like we saw with Charizard. Yes. Will it take 6 months? Most likely.
Probably. I mean, and 6 months in the Poke world's an eternity. Or
yeah,
in the internet.
And don't get me wrong. In the FOMO of your life, 6 months is an absolute eternity of not having that Pikachu in your hands. I can't blame you on that, especially if Pikachu is one of your favorite Pokemons. Let's go water. But let's think about this. How many hours is $700? How many hours do you have to work to make $700? And we're not going to go into budget world Stephanie here, but here's the reality. I'm pretty sure 6 months to save you, half of that and pay $400, or God forbid, it could even be better than that. It could be $200-300 is what this Pikachu is actually worth. And that's my best guess. That pre-order price at $425 is roughly what it's probably valued minus $100. I think that $300-ish is probably
where it's going to settle.
Good case scenario of where it's going to settle. I think it's probably worth a little bit less than that, quite frankly. But that's my perspective on it. I think because of the inflation of the set and how good this set is and how hard that card is to pull, unless there's a massive change, I think we're going to end up in like the $450-ish range of where it's going to settle in the next 6 months. And then it's going to take 2 years for it to settle again. And that's exactly what happened with Charizard. So to finish the Charizard story...
Nope, not allowed.
Scovillion. So we've gotten 2 double rares so far.
I thought this is the second box, isn't it? Because we ended with the Kilowattrel in the last box. This is the new box.
This is new box. Okay.
So one double
first
rare.
Double rare.
There we go.
Sorry.
Maybe we'll get another gold. Maybe we'll get a Pikachu.
I'm already getting confuzzled. If we pull a Pikachu, I'm going to lose my brain.
I think the audience is going to lose their brain.
Yeah, well... Hey,
you should tell them why, though.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I need to finish my Charizard story.
I don't think you're ever going to finish the story. Just saying.
What ended up finishing to happen to the Charizard is within the end of the Charizard era, or the end of the Shining Fates era. Let's go fire.
Oh,
Yay. There we go. What ended up happening was it finally tanked and finished at $69 in September of 2023. So in the end, Charizard has stabilized at $70 a card. And that is a raw Charizard VMAX. That is the value, the true value of what this card is worth nowadays. That
Race back. Haven't seen one of those in a while.
Scramble switch, and we haven't seen this one yet out of this set. Oh, what a beautiful. These A-specs have gotten harder to pull out of the set for anyone who's wondering. Or like, hey, I've seen less of those. You have seen less of them. They are harder to pull out of Surging Sparks. So if you are wondering, that is a true fact. Beautiful, beautiful card though. We don't get it all. And so in the end,
last two packs, you better wrap this never-ending story up.
Hey, it's a never-ending story because it's a complicated one. But Charizard's official end value is the $70. And that's where it's going to end until it becomes a old card. So in the next 5 years, we're going to see a change and a shift in that value again. But that's going to be later down the line when it becomes a vintage card. Let's go water.
Oh, there we go.
Finally. And so that is the same thing we're going to see with Pikachu. Now things have changed, prices have changed, and we've seen some shifts and changes in value. But that is roughly what we're going to see in the same percentile shifts with Pikachu. And I hope this has helped you understand that no, I wouldn't recommend you go spend $700 on a Pikachu right now, and quite frankly, you're probably going to spend more than that. I'm seeing people actually purchase this card at $800, $900, $1,200 right now. That is what eBay comps are right now, if not more. I saw someone just spend almost $5,000 for a 10
PSA 10?
PSA 10 gem mint. I don't even know how or why. We're not even going to go there. We're not even going to go there. I don't have time.
Keep it on the rails.
Don't have time. Now,
you're already on the last pack and you haven't got to the best part.
If you want to win today's beautiful, beautiful cards, including that gold and that beautiful trainer train, which I didn't even get to enjoy that much, but we did get to see under the microscope. It's simple. Let's go fire, because today's opening was fire, and I hope you don't FOMO. It is simple. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel, come back next week to find out if you've won. Congratulations to last week's winner, because that's why you come back and watch these videos, right? Don't FOMO. Bottom line, don't FOMO. We've seen this. This is historical data. It's historical for a reason.
History repeats itself.
Let's not make the same mistakes twice. History does repeat itself. It just simply does. So let's not make the mistakes again.
What are we ending on? Doug Trio.
Three Musketeers.
And
oh!
Beautiful.
And we're going to end on the microscope. How can you not love some last pack magic? Even if we've pulled the stapler already, I am pumped. If you'd like to keep on chasing on, check out this one next.